expect to see in the desert, the Sahara Desert? Well, one thing is a couple of guys walking into a drilling camp that you'd never seen before. In fact, that's exactly what happened. We were in a particular location, and two guys show up. They were we learned, from Chad. They're carrying dirty burlap bags with their belongings in them. They both smile, and they stand there with eagerness to get involved. Where'd they come from? Well, they'd walked 1,000 miles, we were told, from Chad up into Libya, where they had heard you could get a job. What a sacrifice those guys made. But it wasn't just a sacrifice of moving up there by walking, but after they got there, because they didn't look exactly like the Libyans or act like them or speak the language of most of the Libyans, they were kind of not accepted. And that was kind of strange for me because I was accepted by the Libyans. I felt comfortable with them. They seemed to show respect to me. But here were these two guys from another country south of them coming into the drilling camp. And it took a while before the Libyan workers were willing to acknowledge their presence or work with them. But it turned out both these guys were really hard workers. They smiled all the time. They had a grateful spirit. They'd come up there to get a job, which they couldn't find in Chad. They got fairly good wages by being in a nation that was developing its infrastructure and its natural resources. And they were a couple of happy campers. And it turned out they were really good workers. So it is kind of interesting to think, why would they, who were human, just like everybody else, why were they not instantly received well? Why were they, as kind of a minority group, not so well accepted, at least initially? It raises questions for all of us around the world, doesn't it? But the truth of the matter is, those men brought with them a yearning to make a living and a hard work ethic, which was highly appreciated by us. We hired them right on the spot. And it took some time, but they began to blend in, and they were good workers. Well, yeah, one of the pictures of kind of a five-guy work team shows Abdelgader. He was my head guy, and he's got his hands on the heads of those two Chadians. Yeah, what was interesting was at first they weren't well received. Nobody spoke to them. Nobody really paid any attention to him. But if you look at Abdelgader's face, the guy that's got his hands on their head, he really appreciated them. They were good workers. We enjoyed their presence.